Imagine with me, if you would, living in a world where you didn't understand the language. Now, how would that make you feel? Continue imagining with me that you also did not understand the language, but could not hear it. That's what it's like for at least 1 million people in America today. A survey conducted by Gallaudet Research Institute found out that 2 to 4 people out of 1,000 here in America are what are considered functionally deaf. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that they cannot use their ears. How do they communicate? They communicate not with their voices, but they communicate with their hands in a language called sign. Now today, I'm going to share with you a little bit of the history of sign language, and also share with you some basic concepts that you too can use to carry on a conversation with someone who is deaf that is loud and clear. Back in the 1800s, there was a man by the name of Thomas Hopkins Gallaudet. Now, he lived next door to a little girl who was deaf, and he was absolutely fascinated with how to learn to speak with her. His interest took him overseas to England, where he met a man by the name of Abbé Sicard, who invited him to go to his school in Paris for the deaf. After his visit, he came back to the Americas and started the very first school for the deaf here in Hartford, Connecticut in 1817. Now, many more schools started to build, but the crowning achievement for all of the schools for the deaf came in 1864 when Gallaudet College had been established. Now today, Gallaudet University is the foremost leadership university for language arts for the deaf, as well in the United States as well as in the world. Now, one of the most famous deaf and blind people that we know in America's history is Helen Keller. Now, Helen was born in the 1880s and was born a perfect, normal baby girl. At the age of 19 months, she contracted a severe illness, and results of the high fever that she had lost her hearing as well as her sight. Now, later on in life, she recounted how she felt back when she could not speak with anybody or hear or see, on how it felt for her. She said that she would go up and she'd feel people's talking. She'd put their hands up to their lips and could feel everything going. And she tried to mimic it and was so frustrated because she did not understand that she'd become so angry that she would kick and scream until she was just utterly exhausted. Now, Mrs. Keller learned about a school called Perkins School for the Blind, wrote to the school, and asked them to send her a teacher for Helen. Soon afterwards, Anne Sullivan arrived at the Keller residence. After working with Helen for a month, she taught her how to fingerspell. That was using the alphabet all on her hand. With Helen being deaf, she could not see, blind, she could not see, so she had to sign everything inside her hand. After just 1 month of working with her, they were out in the yard pumping away at the water pump. And Helen put her hand under the water and finally understood what W-A-T-E-R meant. What an excitement that was for her that day. Now, just like Helen, many other deaf persons have learned fingerspelling and simple signs to be able to communicate and let their voices be heard from their silent world. Now, about 13 years ago, I met a girl named Sherry. Sherry was deaf, had come to a church meeting, nervous, wide-eyed, not sure about what she was going to do while she was there. Years prior to that, I had learned how to fingerspell. So I had gone up to her and started communicating with her and got to know her, and we became very good friends. As time went on, I had begun taking lessons, and through friends who were professional interpreters, I began interpreting for Sherry at church. Now, believe it or not, we use sign language every day. Is anybody used to this? That's sign language for hello. How about, I don't know. That's sign language for I don't know. Now here's a couple of other simple signs. This is F, family. And there's also together, as well as forever and can. Sign language was designed to give the deaf a voice from their silence into the world. It's a beautiful way to communicate, and it is so expressive that it's just as much as what a voice could say. Now my challenge to you is to pay attention to the gestures that you use every day. Who knows, you may be already able to carry on a conversation with your hands and not your voice. Now, what I would like to do for you right now is demonstrate how beautiful sign can be in music. Thank you.